I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these shops. Let's get straight into it. So first, we have the Meso Shop. Pretty simple. Don't buy anything from here. If there's any cosmetic stuff you want, you could buy it. But other than that, don't buy nothing. Next, we have the badge exchange. With the badge exchange, it's completely cosmetic, so it's up to you. The only thing I will say, if you want unit damage skins on your other characters and you have a lot on your main, for example, if I look, I have a bunch of skins on my main. I could transfer these to other characters at the bottom with the damage skin extraction coupon. So if you want to do that, that's an option. Yeah, that's basically it. Meso Shop useless. Badge exchange is completely cosmetic. So next we have the trophy exchange. So the way you actually get trophies is by killing weekly bosses. So the higher weekly bosses you kill, the more difficult they are, the higher amount of trophies you're going to get. You can get a max of 2,000 per week, but now we'll get into the actual shop. So VIP buff selectors you can get in both shops, the stamp exchange as well, but I would recommend buying them in the trophy exchange because they only cost 5 trophies. So I'd recommend getting your VIP buff selectors from this one instead of the stamp exchange, just because they only cost 5 currency. The other one costs 50. Also, there are 3Xs. So these 3Xs I would buy out every day. You can only get 2 and they're 15 minutes. So you get 30 minutes of 3X for every day. And it costs like 60 trophies, which is not bad. So I'd be buying that out. VIP boosters I would buy as well. Arcane River droplets, definitely buy these. If your main doesn't have arcanes yet or max 22 arcanes, or you're going to work on the Legion champ system in the future, I would definitely buy these. Basically means everyone should buy these unless they have all 6 Legion champs already done with 22 arcanes. Like if you're that far into the game, you're probably not watching this video anyways, but everyone should most likely buy these just to get as much droplets as you can for arcanes. Flames are also really good. Usually with flames, I wait towards the end of the event to buy them because I just want to see whatever leftover currency, and I'll use them to buy the black flames and the rainbow flames. If I have extra currency, I'll buy the red flames, but you want to prioritize the black and the rainbows for sure. Medals of Honor you could buy if these are very cheap. It only costs 300 and you get 10k per, so it gives you a lot. You could definitely buy these if you want. Circulators I would not buy. And sacred symbols, these are kind of expensive, especially when you get to like Carcion, Arteria area. They're very expensive and you don't get very many, so they wouldn't actually progress you very forward. I would also probably not buy the Cernium ones just because you get 20 a day with Cernium, so you're going to level that one faster than anything else anyways. You could get the Odium, Arcus, Shangri-La ones if you want. You do get kind of a decent amount, but this is another thing where I would wait towards the end of the event. If you have any leftover currency after you've bought your flames, you could buy sacred symbols. Unless if you're training a ton, this is a very specific scenario. If you're like newly 260 and you're training a ton and you're leveling very quickly, I would buy as many of these out as you can because you're going to get sat gated. If you don't know what that means, is there's a sacred force requirement for like each map in Grandis, and you're going to not have enough sacred force because you're leveling up so quickly. So if that is the case for you, or you can see that being the future case because you're leveling and like whopping a lot, then I would buy these out. But otherwise I would wait towards the end, and then most likely don't buy the Carcion one, don't buy the Arteria one, maybe Arcus, Odium, Shangri-La, the only ones that might be good if you have extra currency left over. You could buy the Cernium ones if that's all you have as well unlocked. But that's basically it for the trophy exchange. 2k per week. There's definitely some good stuff in the shop. The stamp and badge shop, or the stamp shop, so with the stamps you're going to be able to get 20,000 total stamps for the entire event, and then you're also going to be able to get 30,000 badges for the entire event. So for the cosmetic shop, you'll have 30,000 badges. So it'll kind of help you understand what to prioritize when I go over all the stuff that's useful for this shop. So Mesa pouches, don't buy. Epic potential scrolls, I would only buy them if you really need them. For the most part, I would probably just use a normal potential scroll and then hard cube the stuff to epic. It's pretty like easy to do that as long as you get any amount of hard cubes from bossing. Stamps, I wouldn't buy these. You can buy these from the general store and just use those stamps instead. Save your currency, use it on more important things that you can't already buy in the game. Droplets, again, I would buy these for sure. Flames, same thing. I would wait towards the end of the event. Whatever flame or whatever currency I have left over, I'm using them on rainbow flames. If I have extra after, I'll use them on red flames, but prioritize getting the rainbow flames. It is also a much later game thing too. If you're like fresh 260, this is like very much your last thing you spend your currency on. If you're more like 270 to 285, anywhere in that region, the flames can be useful. Also, if you have any items that are going to last you a while, the flames will be useful. Like any arcanes, CRAs, Jenny weapon, if you have an arcane weapon and it's got a bad flame on it, like all that stuff is useful to flame. But I would just wait towards the end of the event for the flames, unless you liberate. Let's say it's the fresh it's like a new month, so if you liberate this month, I would recommend buying the flames from both shops. just because you want to get as good of a flame on your Janie weapon as possible. So that's a specific scenario as well. If you are newer, so like anywhere from like 200 to fresh 260, you're gonna want to buy all 3 of these event ring selectors. So these are extremely useful, and actually the last anniversary event a year ago, I did the exact same thing. So all 3 of these event rings I got on the anniversary event last year, and I'm still using them now, and I'm 285. So these are going to last you probably longer than anything else in this entire shop. And I would highly recommend buying these and then getting them to legendary, so you can get 1 line of item drop or 1 line of Meso obtained. And then eventually you can go for hybrids like mine have. But you're going to want to buy all 3 of these, which is 9k currency. That's probably the first thing I would save for if I'm anywhere from 200 to 260, like very early game, like you're like fresh new player. I would definitely buy these first because 1, they're going to give you good damage just because they already have 25 attack power and you don't have to star them at all. So they're very cheap to get Meso drop gear on, and they give you good damage early on, and you're gonna have them literally forever. I would definitely focus on this more than anything in this shop. Buy these out first and then get all 3 of them. You can get the legendary potential scrolls if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because they are very expensive. Like if you look at the event ring selectors, this is going to be 9k in total. If you bought 3 of these, that's another 12k. It's not worth buying both, but I would definitely get the rings and then just get them to legendary slowly. Also, I would recommend buying the solid cubes to actually cube these rings, because it's going to be a lot cheaper than buying glowing cubes. So it's basically like a free way to get Meso drop gear for 3 of your accessories out of the 9 that you need. So I would definitely prioritize getting the 3 rings and then buy the solid cubes, just as many as you need. Get 1 line of item drop or 1 line of Meso on each. And then I would probably not buy the legendary potential scrolls or the unique potential scrolls either. VIP buff selectors, so you can also buy these from here. So if you end up zeroing out your trophies, you can buy VIP buff selectors. These are obviously just very useful for whatever. If you're doing Punch King, you definitely want to make sure to use VIP buff selectors just to get as high a score possible. If you care about doing it for like training, you get like 15% extra EXP. Anything where it's like you're doing a new boss for the first time and you're like very close to the damage requirement, get this. It'll help you a little bit. Everything else, so like most of this stuff doesn't really matter. You can get the monster blooms if you want. If you have any characters that need charm and a pocket slot, you can go and grab these and just put them on the characters. We also usually get these for free for some events, so you could also just wait for that. But let's say you're gonna make a bunch of mules soon, like maybe like 8 to 10 mules. You can just buy a bunch of them and put them all on there so they have their pocket slots already. Don't buy selective 8 slot coupons. APSP, you shouldn't really need those. Infinite revitalizers are just for crafting. They lower your fatigue when it's maxed, and you don't really need this in a lot of cases. If you want to get Meister accessory crafting and you want to do it as fast as possible, you can use these. I wouldn't buy the character slot expansion or any of the bags really. Okay, so when it comes to the bags, I wouldn't buy any of these bags from the soul, the chair, the recipe, or the production, because you can buy all of these bags from the general store. The only one you can't buy from the general store is the scroll bag. If you want a scroll bag, you could get that. The arcane symbol selectors, definitely you could buy these out if you're newer and you want to just get as much as possible. Also, if you need to work on Legion champs, this is going to be useful as well, just to max out symbols on another character without having to do as many of the dailies as you will need to. Node stones, really good if you're early game. You need node stones. I would definitely buy these. I wouldn't buy the EXP node stones because these are extremely expensive. 650 for 1 is crazy. I would definitely not buy these, but buy the normal node stones for sure. Medals of Honor, you could buy these if you need them. They're not super expensive, they're pretty cheap. They are better, I think, from the trophy exchange, so buy those ones first, and then if you still need it, you could do that. Legendary circulators, you could buy these. These are a little expensive, but they are useful just to get something legendary. Alternatively, you could go to the cash shop and buy miracle circulators just to level it up to legendary. That's going to cost a Meso. If you want a free way to get this legendary instantly and you're like out of honor, buy legendary circulators, and that's useful. Chaos and black circulators are very specific scenarios. Most people are not going to need to buy these. Next, the strawberry farms. So I don't know, these normally reset like weekly. We can buy 5 every week. It doesn't look like you can do that in this shop, but at least buy these 5 and use them on whatever character you want. Especially, basically anybody should buy these no matter what stage of the game you're in. You could be in the mega end game or you could be a brand new player. Buy these 5. Use them on your Moshwan if you want to level up your Moshwan past 200. This is good from anywhere from 101 to probably like max 230. But really I would say more like 220. But any character in that area, it's going to help you a lot. If you're newer and you need to work on your Legion, these are going to be very useful because you can get a character from like 101 to like 170 something, I think, in one strawberry farm. Also, these extreme growth potions are going to be very useful. I would buy these out too for if you need to work on Legion. Like if you're like 2k to like 4k 6k Legion and you want to try to get to like 8k, definitely use both of these for Legion. You could use the strawberry farms from 200 to like 220 as well on a character if you're like leveling a new character. But yeah, these are very useful as well, both of them for Legion. That's literally everything from the shop. If I did miss anything, if there's other uses for stuff that I forgot, it's kind of hard to remember literally every use for everything. Feel free to comment down below. If this video helped you out at all, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I want to post a lot of videos on this event and just MapleStory in general. Trying to do a video a day, showing me what you guys like by using like and sub does help me out. I will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.